Hogwarts Board of Governors have sent Lucius Malfoy to inspect Hogwarts, and he has brought his house elf. Can you keep Lucius happy and become friends with Dobby? Let's go try, guys. Let's go try. So we got that going. We have chapter 7, and we have Quidditch. We can start with Quidditch after this. Okay, let's go do. Let's do meal with a friend first. Boom. Sorry for this slight interruption. But we're gonna max out Ben's friendship. This is just a side thing before we start the event. Puffskin. Boom, boom, boom. Chips. Boom, boom, boom. Just a little side quest before we start the event. Toad. And boom. We got max level friendship with Ben Cooper. Boom. Unlock. Customize your character. Boom. Oh, continue owning with Ben to own a special gift. What? But it's max. Huh, okay. Oh, we can have romance. I didn't know that. Okay, let's start go to the Great Hall. Start meeting the Malfoys event. At least someone's taking a good look at this school. Dumbledore's making an announcement. This is your fault, isn't it? I expect you will be on your best behavior, Dane. Professor Dumbledore said he's making an announcement today. Any idea what about? I've picked up a few things. Willie, what have you heard? I heard someone important is visiting Hogwarts. Someone important? Who? Looks like we're about to find out. The Hogwarts Board of Governors have asked that I make an announcement on their behalf. And as they are tasked with the care of the school, we must oblige them. Professor Dumbledore, what exactly is the Board of the Governors? Excellent question. Allow me to explain. Okay, I shall, on second thought, how fast can I speed through this? Okay, I can speed through this fast. Let me just speed through this so I don't have to cut. Boom. Boom. And boom. Okay. Boom, we have finished. Now that you understand the role of the Board of the Governors, I have an announcement to make. One of the school governors will conduct an inspection of Hogwarts. Allow me to introduce Mr. Lucius Malfoy. Jeez, look at him. The one who haunted Harry Potter. I'm sure my time here will be most illuminating. I won't keep you all from this delicious feast any longer. Tuck in. Seems a bit odd that the school governors want to inspect Hogwarts. They have never done that before. What do you think, Darkos? Doesn't a surprise inspection seem suspicious? It's suspicious. I don't know for sure, but a surprise inspection seems suspicious to me. Exactly. Why would they choose to inspect us now? Darkos, we have got to go to the Charms classroom. Professor Flitwick wants to see us. Hey, let's go, Ben. Report to Professor Flitwick. Oh, Lucius is there. Uh-oh. Do you know why Professor Flitwick wanted to see us? I have been worrying ever since he told me. Do you think we are in trouble? Let's hope not. Good, you are both here. Why did you want to see us, Professor? Mr. Malfoy requested a chance to talk to a handful of students as part of his Hogwarts inspection, and I thought of both of you. I believe introductions are in order. Oh yes, Ben Cooper and Darko Stain are two of my most talented students. Ah yes, Darko Stain. Your brother caused quite a scandal. And Mr. Cooper, was it? It's Cooper, so great. Why don't you both tell Mr. Malfoy about your charm studies? It would be riveting. Let's see if I can remember everything Professor Flitwick taught me. Your magical knowledge is quite impressive. Any visiting parent would be proud. My parents are muggles, and yet you are one of Professor Flitwick's best and brightest. Interesting. I believe it's time to take my leave, but I shall watch your career with interest, Mr. Dan. Good day. That was strange. Strange, that was horrible. I felt like a spider staring down the basilisk. What did you think of Mr. Malfoy, Mr. Dan? He seemed alright to me. Of course, he was nice to you. He knows I'm a muggle. It can be a bit difficult sometimes, but he is one of the school governors. We simply must cooperate. Fortunately, I've spent quite a lot of time around difficult people, which reminds me I've got to get to potions. Go to potions class. Oh, Lucius is here as well. I am merely surprised you have taken it upon yourself to inspect the school personally. The future of all witches and wizards depend on the quality of their education. That concerns me personally. I'm certain you will find Hogwarts quite up to even your rigorous expectations. Now, if you will excuse me, I have a lesson to teach. Of course, good day, Severus. Oh, the stare. Do Professor Snape and Lucius Malfoy know one another? Wouldn't you like to know, Dan? I would actually, that's why I asked. Wait a moment, do you know anything about Lucius Malfoy? More than you do. There will be no social calls in my classroom. Dan listened in on your chat with Lucius Malfoy. Not on purpose. Prepare to review the preparation of sleeping draughts. We will discuss this after the lesson. I believe that is all the information on sleeping draughts you are capable of absorbing today. Class is missed, except for you, Dan. Looks like eavesdropping on Snape and Malfoy caught up to you, Dan. I'd almost hope Professor Snape forgot about that. You as well, Miss Nine. What? You're both recorded in the headmaster's office. Both of us? What did I do? It's not that important. Can you tell us why Professor Dumbledore wants to see us? Let's just say you will finally understand what I must face on a daily basis. Go. It would be wise to keep the Malfoys waiting. Not be wise to keep the Malfoys waiting. Malfoys does more than one Malfoy at Hogwarts? Part 1 complete. Part 2. You and Mueller have been selected to assist Lucius Malfoy with the most difficult task of all. Meet Professor Dumbledore. Let's go meet Professor Dumbledore. I wonder why Professor Dumbledore wants to see us. You heard Snape, it's something to do with the Malfoys. That's the part I don't understand. I met Lucius Malfoy and he didn't mention anyone else. Can't believe you don't know about the Malfoys. Everyone's heard of them. Well, I haven't. Can you tell me about the Malfoys? Why would I tell you anything? You want to boast. Because you will get to show off. Don't you know more about the Malfoys than I do? Obviously, and I'll prove it. I'll tell you what you should already know about the Malfoys. The Malfoys are one of the oldest pure-blood families in Britain. They are cunning, connected, and wealthy. Lucius Malfoy carries a cane, black, with a serpent head handle. It's his favorite accessory. How do you know all of this? Everyone knows Lucius Malfoy was in league with Lord Voldemort. You mean Lucius Malfoy was a Death Eater? He says he was under the Imperius curse, if you can believe that rubbish. You know who cursed a lot of people. Could he be telling the truth? Malfoy would snog a fire crab if Voldemort told him to. Shh, I think someone's coming. Welcome, welcome. I assume you are here to help Mr. Malfoy during his inspection of our beloved school. Help with what exactly? Professor Snape was quite vague. Serious always is. What do you want us to do then? It's a matter of personal nature. Come in, Draco. Draco Malfoy. I require the two of you, the two of Hogwarts' most promising students, to look after my son for the duration of my inspection. You want us to babysit? Why us? Professor Flitwick spoke highly of you, Mr. Dane, and Miss Nine possesses the pedigree and magical skill I expect my son to emulate. I suggest you take young Mr. Malfoy to the courtyard. The three of you will get along swimmingly. Well, that was unexpected. I got babysit Draco Malfoy. Oh, look at Dobby being scared. Uh, Sorry I'm late, Miula. I hope you haven't been watching Draco without me. What in the name of Molin's favorite fluffy bathrobe happened here? What happened? What happened was Malfoy didn't tell us his son is a complete brat. I'm telling my father you said that. You two clearly have got off on the wrong foot, but we can fix that if we work together. We can start by tidying up before Flinch sees this mess and hands us by our toenails. Cleaning, that's servant's work. I'm not cleaning if he's not cleaning. You both made a mess, you need to fix it. It was her fault. No, it was. No, it's not. Here's what happened. Let me see if I understand. Mueller borrowed a book from the library, and Draco tore it up. Why would you do something like that? My father says the Fountain of Fair Fortune promotes marrying muggles. Asim and you'll ruin your pants. I dropped them from Malfoy when Malfoy pushed me. You started it. Back me up, Dan. You know this is Malfoy's fault, don't you? You leave Draco alone. You're being childish. Draco's a child. You are just childish. Hey. So as you wait, it's 9. That's it. Let's just petrify the brat. That's a terrible idea. What? Think you have got a better one? Since I have got to go to Transfiguration class, I'll ask Professor McGonagall for a vase. No one messes about in whole lessons. What am I supposed to do? Watch Malfoy by myself? If you can handle it. Of course I can handle it, but I have no idea how to keep Malfoy busy. You could start by cleaning up this mess. No. You hold Dan, start scrubbing. Suppose I should hurry up and ask Professor McGonagall for help with Draco. I'll ask her after Transfiguration class. Now I gotta do class, what? Ask for help. I'll ask for help. Professor McGonagall, I've got a question. This may not be the appropriate time, Mr. Lane. The inspection has put us all on the edge, and you are late. It will only take a moment. We shall discuss the question after our lesson. Now let us begin our Fellow's review. Uh, that will be all for today. Class dismissed. Now that our lesson has concluded, what is it you wanted to ask me? Mula and I are taking care of Draco Malfoy, and he's rather challenging and spoiled. Surely you and Miss Nine are more than equipped to handle one child. I don't know about that. Mula wasn't much help. They both made a mess of the courtyard. You have never had trouble keeping an entire classroom under control. That's why I came to you. My time as professor has taught me that my children require a balance of discipline and patience, but most of all, they need respect and engagement. I suggest having a conversation with the young Mr. Malfoy, learn what he is interested in, try to understand him, and if his poor behavior persists, ensure he knows that it is unacceptable. Thank you, Professor. I'll give it a go. Oh, good luck. Okay, let's go babysit Draco. Babysit hello Draco. Glad you finally showed up, Dan. Hope you got advice from McGonagall about Malfoy. I did. What have you two been up to? Stop by. He says we'll go home as soon as he's done inspecting this place. I expect I won't have to see either of you again. Already, we haven't even been properly introduced. I know who you are. You're Darko's Dan, and she's Mulus 9. I'm Malfoy, Draco Malfoy, and this is ridiculous. Don't blame me, it was Dane's idea. Come on, Draco, it couldn't hurt to talk to us. Suppose I haven't got anything better to do than talk to you, so long as 9 doesn't try anything. Let's start with, what do you think of Hogwarts? Hogwarts? I'll tell you exactly what I think of Hogwarts. You want to know what I think of Hogwarts? My father says this place has gone to the dogs. Father says you are the best in your year. Shows how pathetic this school has got. I'm the most powerful witch at Hogwarts. Not saying much, my father says this sorry excuse for school is full of mudbloods. What did you say? Do you know what that word means, Draco? I know my father says mudbloods are an embarrassment to the wizarding world. Ha, you going to tolerate that sort of language then? That's not a word for polite conversation. We could hurt someone with that sort of language. So my father says they are an embarrassment to the wizarding world. It's not like you can do anything about it. Dumbledore doesn't let you learn any real spells. Father wants to send me to Durmstrang. He knows the headmaster. They teach you proper courses at Durmstrang. I know loads of courses. Prove it then. Wait a moment. Locomotor Wibbly. Oh god. Whoa. Very funny, Mula. Let me have a go. Too bad you're too young, and I'm not letting you anywhere near my lawn. Then you teach me then. We haven't got time. Your father should finish his Hogwarts inspection soon. You will simply have to wait until you come back to Hogwarts and learn your spells yourself. Father, you won't believe. Not now, Draco. I came to inform Mr. Day and Miss Nine that the caretaking duties will shortly come to an end. I expect I will see you in the headmaster's office soon enough. Part 2 complete. Part 3. There's a thief at Hogwarts. Can you find Mr. Malfoy's stolen wand and save an innocent house elf? Meet Professor Dumbledore. Make no mistake, Mr. Dumbledore. I will report this to my fellow Hogwarts governors. What are you doing here? Where's my son? Mule is watching him. I asked Mr. Dane to join us. I expect his investigative abilities will be quite helpful. Is something wrong, sir? Someone has stolen my wand. That's terrible. Who could have taken your wand? The thief must have known that I keep my wand concealed in my cane. Perhaps it would help to give Dr. Stain a full explanation. Let me make sure I understand. You keep your wand in a can, Mr. Malfoy, and now your wand has gone missing. I believe that sums it up. Yes, very astute. I cannot leave Hogwarts until my wand is found and the thief caught. If you are sure the wand was stolen, you must have a suspect. Few people know that my wand is concealed within my cane, myself and my oath. That is a serious accusation, Mr. Malfoy. Indeed, non-human magical beings are forbidden to the use of wands. Such a crime deserves punishment. Good day, Headmaster. So, what will happen to Mr. Malfoy's house elf if I can't find the missing wand? I'm afraid Mr. Malfoy is correct. The Code of Wand use forbids non-human magical beings from using wands. House elves and goblins don't need wands to use magic. Why create that law in the first place? It's a matter of some debate. Do you believe house elves deserve to use wands? I mean, yes, I believe house elf deserves the wand use as anyone else. Perhaps one day the ministry will overturn the wand ban. Until that day, any elf found with a wand is subject to discipline. Is why I suggest you begin your search by finding the house elf before his master does. After all, house elves have a kind of magic all of their own. They see more than their masters care to contemplate. Of course, this takes away from your time with Draco Malfoy. Mula will have to take care of Draco while I search. I'll ask Penny to help me find. What was Mr. Malfoy's elf's name? His name is Dobby. Dobby. Luck keeping an eye on Draco Malfoy. Mrs. Norris says Malfoy's elves cleaned up the the courtyard. Yeah, at least he's useful. Be careful around Lucius Malfoy, Darkos. You can't trust him. Thanks for helping me, Penny. We have a better chance of finding Dobby if we work together. Dobby, happy to help. Besides, I heard you have been busy babysitting Malfoy's son. It's been difficult. Fortunately, Miula's looking after Draco while I search for Mr. Malfoy's wand. But I'd better solve this before Miula snaps and turns Draco into a ferret. Why does Mr. Malfoy think his house elf stole his wand? He says Dobby is the only one who knew Mr. Malfoy kept his wand in his cane. Suppose that's rather suspicious. Do you think Dobby took Mr. Malfoy's wand? No, Dobby didn't steal his master's wand. Someone else must have known where Mr. Malfoy kept it. We need evidence to prove it. We will know more when we find Dobby. Oh, there's Dobby. Look, there he is. Dobby, this is Penny Haywood, and I'm... Dobby knows of Darko's Dane. Dobby knows Darko's Dane is searching for his master's wand. Do you know Mr. Malfoy believes you stole his wand? Dobby will never take his master's wand. House elves aren't allowed wands. Dobby is telling the truth. Dobby swears Darko's Dane must trust Dobby. It's alright, Dobby. Can you tell us everything? Dobby will try. Dobby knows where to begin. One was definitely stolen. Yes, miss. And it's still in the castle. You are absolutely certain? Dobby would never lie to Darko's Dane. Dobby knows his master's wand is hidden at Hogwarts. Did you see who took it? Can't say. It's alright, Dobby. You can tell us. Can't. Boom. Bad Dobby. Bad Dobby. What are you doing? Dobby has to punish himself, miss. Dobby mustn't speak ill of his family, miss. Your family? You mean the Malfoys? Please, sir, Dobby cannot say so. You have got to let him go, Darkus. Alright, Dobby, you are free to go. Dobby's never free, sir, but Dobby sees Darkus Dane's point. Dobby hopes Darkus Dane finds his master's wand. Dobby says the wand is still in the castle. I'm not sure where to look. But I know someone who knows every hiding place at Hogwarts. I'll ask Ben for help. Let's go ask Ben. Oh, in here. Meet Bill, look for one. Let's look for one. Thanks again for helping me search for Mr. Malfoy's wand. His house, elf, Dobby says it's hidden at Hogwarts. Unfortunately, he couldn't tell me who the thief was or where they hid it. Any ideas? If I wanted to hide something, I'd hide it here. See, that's why I came to you. No one knows Hogwarts hiding places like you do. I'll do anything if it means Mr. Malfoy leaves us all alone. I never want to see him again. I don't understand, Darkus. Why would you help someone like Mr. Malfoy? Ask me to help Dobby. Mr. Malfoy blamed him for the missing wand. Professor Dumbledore says if I can't find it, Mr. Malfoy could do something terrible. Then what are we standing around for? We should start searching for Dobby's sake. What does Mr. Malfoy's wand look like? Black, I think, with a snake head on the handle. That should be easy to find. Let's start searching. I can't find any wands. What about you, Ben? Sorry, Darkus, if Mr. Malfoy's wand is still at Hogwarts, it's not here. Perhaps I'm going about this all wrong. It's possibly the only person who can find the wand is the one who took it. I think it was Mula. Stealing the wand sounds like just the sort of thing she'd do, doesn't it? Now that you mention it, Mula told me that Mr. Malfoy's cane Loyola. I'm supposed to help her with Draco again soon. I suppose I can ask her then. Better hurry, the sooner you find Mr. Malfoy's wand, the sooner he leaves Hogwarts.
Draco Malfoy is my cousin, but our parents don't get on. Have you had any luck finding Mr. Malfoy's wand? Dobby's counting on you. Um, you and Draco are getting on rather well today. He's finally shut up at least, no thanks to you. I've been a bit busy. Professor Dumbledore asked me to find Lucius Malfoy's wand. It's gone missing. Did he check his cane? The one he keeps his wand in? It's not there. He refuses to leave Hogwarts without it. He accused his house elf of stealing the wand, but Dobby says he wasn't a thief. So you haven't got any leads. Dobby says the wand is still at Hogwarts, and the thief had to be someone who knew about Mr. Malfoy's wand. You'll never figure this out without me. Does that mean you'll help me? Don't read into it. The sooner you figure out what happened to the wand, the sooner the Malfoys leave. Alright, here's what I've learned so far. So whoever stole Mr. Malfoy's wand had to know that he kept it in his cane. Don't forget, they had to be someone Malfoy wouldn't suspect or notice. Like Cooper. Actually, Ben thinks you stole the wand. Seriously? You have to admit that stealing the wand sounds like something you would do. Obviously, I'm the most powerful witch at Hogwarts. If I wanted to take Malfoy's wand, I would. Is that a confession? Of course not. Using Malfoy's wand would be like wearing his dirty socks. You don't suspect me, do you? I believe you. You didn't take Miss Malfoy's wand. Glad we're on the same page now. You can stop wasting your time and think about this properly. The only person someone would bother stealing Malfoy's wand is because they are scared of him. Who would be afraid of Lucius Malfoy? Idiots. The only thing he's got is influence. He's never had real power, not like my parents. Excuse me. Draco seems to think his dad is powerful enough. Wait, where was Draco? He must have ran off while we were arguing. Don't blame me, he was behaving himself until you came in and started talking about Malfoy's wand. That's it. Exactly, it's your fault, Dane. It's not what I meant. Remember when you jinxed me? Draco wanted to go. You told him he needed a wand. We have got to find him, let's go. Part 3 complete. Part 4. You have solved the case of Mr. Malfoy's missing wand. The thief's fate rests in your hands. Let's go find Draco. I see you have lost track of the young Mr. Malfoy. He's right there. Draco Malfoy is nearly old enough to come to Hogwarts. Keep that brat away from Mrs. Nose. There you are, Draco. We have been looking for you. You ran off, you ungrateful weasel. So what? I've snuck away loads of times. Mula, you were supposed to watch him. Easy for you to say, Dane. You left me with all the work. Work? All you did was give me books to read. You got toffee stains all over my charms textbook. Why did you want to read about charms, Draco? Aren't you a bit young for classwork? I'm not too young to learn. That's why you stole your father's wand, didn't you? I'll wait, you have caught me. I borrowed my father's wand. I was going to give it back, but then he knew no I took it. Start at the beginning, Draco. Fine, fine, I'll tell you everything.
Yeah, so we're back. Snide cast that spell on you and I wanted to try and you wouldn't let me. And then father said we would leave Hogwarts, but he couldn't leave without his wand. I only wanted to stay here at Hogwarts a bit longer, so you stole your father's wand. He's furious. He wasn't supposed to know. You must have known someone would get into trouble. Your dad blamed Dobby for something you did. So he's just an elf. Why should I care what happens to him? Because you stole the wand. It was your mistake. Take that makes it your responsibility. Yeah, what am I supposed to do about that? You could start by telling your father the truth. Dan is right. You stole the wand, so you have got to own up to it. I can't. My father can't know. I'll tell you where I hid it. Just don't tell my father about this. Out with it, Malfoy. It's just behind that pillar, I swear. Really, it was in plain sight the whole day. You stay with Malfoy, Dan. I'll see if he's telling the truth. Please, Dan, you won't tell my father, will you? I'll have to tell him something when we return his wand. Why shouldn't I tell him the truth? My father might not let me come back to Hogwarts if he finds out. Got the wand, Malfoy is telling the truth for once. Let's just find Lucius Malfoy. I'm sure he wants his son and his wand back. You'll come with me? I'll have to find Dobby first, then we can return the wand together. I see you have brought my wand and the thief that stole it. There's something you should know, Mr. Malfoy. We found the thief. Wait, then. Dobby isn't a thief. Dobby would never steal his master's wand. Silence, Dobby. I'll deal with you later. Now, Lucius, let's not jump to conclusions. Dobby is telling the truth, Mr. Malfoy. He didn't steal your wand. Perhaps we should hear what Mr. Dan discovered in the course of his investigation. Very well, tell me what happened. I'll tell you. First, I went to Dobby and as you and the professor just suggested. Okay, so we're back. So it was the cane part of his wand. Huh. Enough. If my elf didn't steal my wand, tell me who stole my wand. I don't think there was a theft, Mr. Malfoy. I found the wand in the courtyard. Intriguing. Perhaps I simply misplaced it. Though that does not prove my elf didn't steal it. Dobby never stole his master's wand. He's telling the truth. I know for a fact Dobby didn't steal your wand. That's none of your concern. Focus on your own affairs, Dan, and keep your nose out of mine. Now that's all. Draco and I shall return to Malfoy Manor. I do believe that wraps it up. Well done, Mr. Dan. And Miss Nine, whom I expect had her hands full with our young Mr. Malfoy. That's an understatement. I had to watch him while Dan searched for that wand. Indeed, I'm sure you will be pleased to know your services are no longer required. I have completed my inspection. I will submit my findings to my fellow governors. I look forward to it. Good day, Lucius. Thanks for keeping my secret. I won't forget what you did. And when I come back to Hogwarts, I'm going to be just like you. Well, that was a lie. What happened to you then? You joined the Death Eaters, Draco. Darko Stain include Dobby's name. Darko Stain is truly a great wizard. Dobby only wishes he hadn't put Darko Stain to such trouble. Bad Dobby. Pah, pah. You don't have to punish yourself, Dobby. It wasn't your fault. Dobby must apologize. Darko Stain. Dobby can never repay Darko Stain's kindness. If Darko Stain has any need of Dobby, he has only to ask. Meet the Malfoys. Complete. Hey! Another event complete. So let's look at our events. Achievements, I should say. Boom. So you too, we got Meet the Malfoys, a special celebration of Hogwarts teachers, and Packmates. And then we got Christmas at the Bayou, so we still got how many? Eight, 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 eight more achievements. 3 more from you, 1 still that we never got. Okay. Well, thank you all for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment down below if you enjoyed. Stay